All right, how's it going today, everybody? We're going to start this workout with a little joint mobility routine, a brief one, just as good reminder. So, want to get your feet set underneath your hips. Going to look up nice and high. Bring your chin down nice and low. Make sure you're breathing well through these. In through the nose, out through the lips. Side looks. Try to use your eyes. Peek over your shoulder. Go at whatever speed's comfortable for you. Fast or slow. Jaw blade tilting. And forward glides. Head circles. And switch direction. Roll your shoulders. Remember to use your center upper back muscles. Let your arms just hang to the side here. Switch directions. We're going to switch directions, add some alternation in, so the legs have to tense up. And we're using a little bit more abdominals and torso muscles here. Keep alternating and switch. Thoracic lifts, pull the shoulder blades together, bring the shoulders forward. Thoracic glides. So for me, I find a real deep quadratus laborum stretch here in the low back. So it goes from your hips on each side, it connects diagonally up into your probably L4, L5, somewhere around there, but I can really feel it stretch out. So I do these a lot. Arm swings straight up and down. It's really important to not let your elbows bend overhead. If they do bend, you miss the lat stretch in the warm up, but be real vigorous with these and don't let your elbows bend. Alternating crosses, so we're just alternating the top hand. It's always helpful to open up your palms as well. Stretch out all those nerve endings. Shoulder screws, this is a really tough one. You want to keep both arms on a straight line. Internal, external rotation through the shoulder, external rotation through your hip. Exhale when you turn that shoulder down. Spinal twisting, create it with your hips. Follow it with your eyes. Or look at the wall behind you. Let your arms just wrap around your body. And lateral bends. Let your head hang. Push your weight away. And just bend and hang over that leg. And into the low back and the hips. We start with our pelvic swings, forward reverse. Lock of glutes, quads, abdominals. Hip hikes, so hip swings and hip hikes are movements I do all the time as well. So to do these, make sure you're pushing your knee forward. That's going to drop the same side hip where you're loading up the opposite hip and glute capsule. So basically that straight leg is that one that we want to feel. Try to keep your shoulders square, just push the hips out and away. Hula hoop hip circles, make sure we take our hips around our heels. Switch direction. Now we're going forward bends, or forward hinging, backwards bending. So make sure those shoulder blades stay pulled together. And we always tense up the glutes before we go into those back bends. And full squats, just make sure that we can maintain the bottom kind of shift around a little bit, make sure the adductors are nice and warmed up and stretched out, the ankles or the feet are feeling good. Cossacks, sit down and into the legs. So we want to build nice, strong, stable hips. And we want to build flexibility in that trailer, straight leg on knees. Put a knee on the ground, stretch out your hip flexor. Make sure you curl your pelvis forward, squeeze glute. Stay nice and tall, now get a little bit higher in that hip flexor. And I'm going to do a hamstring. Work on those splits. Switch sides of the hip flexor. And hamstring front leg. And we stretch our quads out, just make sure our knees, feet, and ankles are feeling good here. So we've got a double kettlebell workout. We're going to start with the kettlebell omelet. It's swing, clean, high pull, snatch. So it's four movements or 4 lifts to make 1 rep. So I'm going to put a minute on the clock here. I always advise starting with your thumbs in and your down swings, just because it sets you up for the natural rotation of what's going to happen with the belts. So start with both thumbs in, kind of at a 45-degree angle. We're going to back swing, always keep your wrists high in your hips. Make sure we get our hips back with these. We're going to do swings, cleans, high pulls, and snatches. Okay? 1 minute on the clock here. 3, 2, 1. Dig. You always want your elbows higher than the handles in those high pulls and snatches. Swing, clean. Halfway here. One more rep. And time. Now we're going to do a 30-second racked alternating lunge. So you want to keep elbows as tight to your torso as you can. Inhale into your lunge, exhale up and out. Try not to let your elbows or triceps lift away from your torso. So you want to keep those engaged the whole time. Ready? Rack them up, set, begin. Tap that back knee. Last rep. And we're going to row the kettlebells. Feet are going to be close. Bells are going to be outside the feet. And we can bring these elbows out to get a little more tension in those upper back muscles. So feet are closed, bells are outside. Ready? Folded rows. And begin. Inhale lower, exhale through your row. One more, last one. From there, set of push-ups. So the idea of doing push-ups on the kettlebells is that you have more depth at the bottom of your push-up. So take your time, lower down. These are soft mats, so they're really unstable. So that increases the risk a little bit more. So I want to be real careful with mine. If you're not comfortable on bells, you could, or the handles, you do them on the balls of the bells, or just do push-ups on the ground. 30 seconds, ready? Make sure any way we do these, we want to come up, lock the hips out, lock the abdominals out. So a little hip raise at the top of each one. 30 seconds, ready? Begin. So I did 13 reps in 30 seconds, so I'm going to try to keep that 13 rep. Try to keep that as the bar for all my remaining sets. I'm going to try to maintain 13. Next exercise, we're doing a push press or a jerk. I'm going to do a kettlebell jerk. It requires dipping underneath the bells. You accelerate, lock your body out, the bells are going up, and then we have a really explosive heel return to the ground, and then we straighten out. Bells come down, we load up with a knee dip, we explode up, and then when the arms are locked out, we get our heels down really quickly, okay? If that timing's not there yet, just use your legs to push them overhead. 30-second jerk. Rack your kettlebells up. Ready, begin. All right, next we're going on the ground. Got a 40-second leg raise, wiper, and wiper. I want a little more chest workout, so I'm going to keep my kettlebells locked out with straight arms. Leg raise, wiper, wiper, ready, and begin. All right, last one. We're going to do an elephant walk. So these are probably going to be new to you, but it's our cross motor pattern, just like we run or just like we crawl. We're going to be moving right arm and left leg. So we're going to be in a kind of folded position. Kettlebells will be right inside both feet. So you're going to get your hips back. Your knees are going to be soft, but we want to do our best to keep a neutral spine, so straight from the top of the head to the tailbone. So when I progress forward, on this first one, I'm going to lift and progress my right bell. At the same time, I'm going to be pushing down into my left bell. So as my right bell is moving forward, at the same time, I'm going to move my left leg forward. I'm going to flex out everything in my trunk in this cross pattern to my left hip. Okay, so as I'm folded here, I'm flexing that whole cross pattern from the shoulder to the hips. And I'm going to take it back. Okay, so just make sure you're pushing your weight down to the bells, and we're flexing out our abs underneath. I'm going to go about 10 feet or so. We'll do this for 40 seconds. Bells are even. Elephant walks. Ready, set, and begin.